The next one is one I have not played. So I'm going to let you take this over. Tell me about Jungle Cruise.
Well, let me tell you about my love for Jungle Cruise before I do that, BJ. Jungle Cruise is one of my favorite attractions at Disney World. I mean, I just absolutely love it. The jokes crack me up. My sisters, they'll randomly send me clips of Jungle Cruise, you know, videos from the Jungle Cruise of jokes that people are saying on there. And they're the same jokes. I don't care. I just love them so much. So I heard Jungle Cruise was coming out, and I was really hyped. Sat down with my family, who we've ridden Jungle Cruise a ton. And in this game, you're on these little boats, and you are carrying passengers along this map. It's a roll and move game. So you roll die to determine how far you're going to move. Then you're going to flip these cards over to determine what's going to happen. The cards will have different. What's the word? I guess they're.
Were they passengers, or
they can bring about passengers? So they're like, I guess, kind of event type of cards. Things will happen and tell you. Danger cards, I think, is what they're called. So certain cards are more dangerous than other cards, and you have to defeat these cards depending on how many you had rolled. So what your die roll was, okay? And you have to take 4 cards, and you pick the cards that you're going to do, I guess, the ones that you're going to roll against, and then basically roll and determine what's going to happen. Now, there's some modifiers to those rolls based on the items that you have and things like that. But for the most part, it's a roll and move, and then rolling to determine what's going to happen after that. Now, the game is fine for what it is. At the end of the game, basically, you have these passengers and items in your boat, and then you're going to get points for those. You're also, along the way, you're gonna try to figure out who the family is at the end of the game. There's 4 different families. 3 of them are revealed throughout the game, and then 1 is left at the end. And if you know who that is, then you're going to get extra points.
So little bit of a deduction, then try to figure out which family hasn't been revealed, right?
Yeah, but you know, it's. Do I stop? Do I go a little bit longer route to find out who these other families are so I can determine that at the end? Or do I just not care as much about that so I can get points in other ways and get to the end faster than other people?
This sounds like one of your top 2 or 3 games of all time.
This is not. This was a bit of a miss, and it really bummed me out. But I recognize also my expectations for this one were pretty high. The positive is every time you get one of these cards, you have something that you read on it. So like this one says, I'm told that gorillas are great apes. I've met them. They're okay. So it has all of these like Jungle Cruise jokes on it. And that's the gist of the game, honestly, like all of the cards. But the problem is you go through the entire deck in a game and then some. So by the time you get through the deck and and some of them repeat throughout the deck. So you're reading the same jokes over and over again in one game. And so that's kind of a problem for me. The game overstays its welcome. It's just not my favorite. And it makes me really sad because I wanted to love this game. And I think initially we had fun because you're reading the cards and you're looking at the map, and there's some things on the map that correspond to the actual attraction, and some of the jokes are the same, and that's cool, but that wears off very quickly. And so you're playing this game, and I think on the box, let's see, on the box it says, maybe it doesn't say how long the game is, 45 to 60 minutes. Ooh. I think it took us longer than that. It took us longer than an hour to play this the first time, and we were just all ready for it to be done. And
this sounds like a 35 to 40-minute game. It should have been,
should have been. Yeah, I think so. So
maybe not see all the cards during the game, so that you still want to play the game 2 or 3 more times and see some more skipper jokes, right?
Yeah, it almost felt like, you mentioned earlier some of the Casper game. You have some of these things that happen in the game that they're funny because you can relate to the movie or relate to the ride or whatever it is. But this one, you don't want to go through all of that, like you said in the one game that you play, because then you've played a game and you're like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to play this anymore. Yeah, that's
a miss there. I think shortening up the game and having a little sense of discovery to play it a couple more times, I think that would be better. I like the Jungle Cruise. It's a classic attraction. It's got the Hand of Walt on it. So I want to see that. But if I want to laugh, I'm going to go see Mike and Sully at the Laugh Floor, because there I can go to that show back to back, and it's funny every time because there's a mixture of jokes and they get to interact with the audience. Now, if you've been on the Jungle Cruise as much as I know you have, you know that the skippers are supposed to follow a script.
That's right.
But if you get a particularly vibrant skipper, all of a sudden you're going to hear some jokes that are not necessarily on the script, which I actually like, you know? Well,
that's right. So I've had one of my jokes used in the Mike and Sully attraction before, and it was met with crickets, not a single laugh in the entire. Yeah, I think they didn't hear the joke, or maybe they didn't get the punchline. That's
that's probably
a good joke.
That audio system failure. Yeah. You know, in the middle of the stream, I can't think of it. I'm gonna have to check with my wife to see if we've ever gotten a joke on the Laugh Floor. It seems like we might have. That seems familiar. So good on you for doing that, though, because I love participation. And one of these days,
I'll never do it again.
Oh, come on. By the way, off topic, which one do you like better, Turtle Crush or Mike and Sully?
Turtle Crush. Love Turtle Crush. It's not as funny, but I just think it's better for the kids. I have young kids, and they love it, and just so cool. And typically the person that they have doing it comes up with some really good stuff that's interactive with the audience as well. So
I'm going to agree with you.
Do that well.
It seems to be a funnier attraction overall, but that voice in Turtle Crush is, it gets me every time. So
we'll say those jokes all day long at the park just because of the voice. I love it.
I know. That's a good one. All right. I'm BJ from Game Gumbo.
And I'm Dean from Meeple Town.
And until next time, Dean, laissez le bon temps rouler.
Thanks for coming down to Meeple Town.